What's up, y'all? We are back. Brand new series here in Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Colorado Rockies. A couple of reasons I want to do this team. First of all, their front office is a bunch of, I don't want to say incompetent because they have jobs apparently, but they've done a lot of, questionable things throughout the years, and um, I want to see if I can do better. Like a middle of the road, like financial team, kind of like the Twins that we just like we're finishing up, not done yet, but also like exact opposite, where like they're not ready to compete, but they think they are. So so yeah. First, let's go through like I guess settings and stuff. It's gonna be about the same that I was running with in the Twin series. I made some changes midway through that we'll kind of run through here as well. I do GM users only or control of lineups, whatever. I do 20 to 80 increments of five. Show player profiles. I think I changed that. I turned the talent change randomness up to 120. I want to see what it does. You might see a few more like guys coming out of nowhere, I suppose. Ratings, weight, and current stats. This year's stats are 40-40, and then 15 and 5. I have this like a tick higher maybe than the default difficulty. I think the trading's pretty good this year for the most part, but maybe I should turn it up there. Besides that, um, I like the expanded roster size at 30. I don't know. It's just more interesting to have a couple guys up that I want to put in. And then change the names of the awards and stuff, and then yeah, that's about it. So let's run through the team. I've kind of set up our roster at this point. Went through the minor leagues and kind of did that stuff too. Team's pretty much ready to go. I guess our stars. We could start with this. Our lone star maybe, Chris Bryant. Really nice player, but not not as good as Nolan Arenado, but whatever. He'll be on the team through his contract. I'm not gonna like trade anyone like that. Make it unrealistic. This will be like realistic moves and stuff, not like trying to cheese the AI and stuff. So if I see something crazy come up, I probably won't roll with it. Um, Charlie Blackman, I guess you can call a star, but he's pretty much on the back of his end of his career. He's on the last year of his deal. Ryan McMahon's a really nice player, but probably not good enough to play at third base. He's on a big deal long term, so we'll have to play around with that as well. CJ Cron's a nice player. Tovar's got potential, I guess, but Jurickson Profar is not much. Jonathan Daza is not really a great player. He's fine, I guess. Montero's not a bad prospect. So the hitting doesn't have much. Elias Diaz is fine at catcher. And then the pitching's where it obviously gets ugly. Kyle Freeland's, I guess, our ace. And they signed him to a big extension as well. I probably won't try to deal any of these, trade any of these contracts unless I eat a bunch of it, just because it's not really realistic. We'll play it by ear. If these guys are really good, then maybe their value boosts and we can move them. I would be open to that, but Herman Marquez has a team option after the year. His ratings aren't really any good anymore. They kind of dropped the ball trying to trade him after he was really good a couple years ago. Austin Gomber's like a fine pitcher, I guess. The movement's low. Jose Urena is our 4, I guess. That's cool. Like he's not very good, but all right. And Ryan Felter, he's a 5th starter. He's a body out there basically. The bullpen's not horrible. Pierce Johnson's fine. Dinelson Lamet is also fine. Jake Bird, probably my favorite guy out here because of the high movement. Brad Hand is, I don't know why his ratings are so low. He had a pretty good year with Philly last year. I guess he wasn't that great according to his FIP and stuff. But Peter Lambert, I think he's like a second round pick way back in the day. Gavin Hollowell, Ty Black. I don't know. These are just kind of guys to fill the roster for now. And then you go to the farm system. It doesn't get a ton better. There's some guys down here. Ezekiel Tovar, obviously, he's on our roster right now. Chris McMahon's not bad, but don't really see him as like an ace for the future or anything. Robert Casals is in rookie ball. Adele Amador, not a bad player here. Future second baseman potentially. Drew Romo, I really like him. He's going to be our catcher for the future, pending anything crazy happening. Love that 75 ability. That's sweet. Zach Veen, who's actually like their top prospect in real life, I think, ranked way down here at number 95. His ratings aren't great, and he's a ground ball hitter. I hope he develops, but I'm not going to hold out for that. Really, just a lot of quantity here and over like quality players, I guess, in the minor leagues. Benny Montgomery, you got to watch out for. He always seems to do well in these saves. Going back to last year's Giants, and I think he was pretty good in my twin save too. But you look at the contracts long term. Bryant on a big deal. Whatever, we'll live with it. He's still a good player, so it's not a big deal. But then it gets ugly. Like Kyle Freeland's on a big extension. Ryan McMahon, Antonio Senzatella, who I didn't even mention, who's on the IL at the moment. But he's on a huge extension. I don't know why they rushed and gave him that. I guess because he's a player who can pitch in cores. Needs to do what he wanted to sign. So he doesn't even have like a put out pitch at all. But again, this isn't the guy like we can really trade realistically. So we're probably gonna have to roll with him. Besides that, like we're not strapped for cash for the future. But there's just not like a lot of good players in this roster. So we're gonna have to build through the draft. And also I should mention some guys on the IL because there are some good players here. Like Randall Grisham. Randall Grichuk is not a bad corner outfielder. Brendan Rodgers, he's a good player. But he's out for most of the year, if not all of it. And Daniel Bard will be back. He's a good reliever. So my plans for this team and how to build this and build a winning team in cores is basically we're gonna have a really good center fielder, like an 80 grade, like 70 plus range center fielder. We're gonna have to have a good infield defense, and we're gonna have to have ground ball pitchers to pitch to that infield defense. So. We don't really have any ground ball pitchers on this roster at the moment. Jose Urena is probably the closest we have, but he's no good. So it's going to be difficult to build a team like this from what we have here. Ezequiel Tovar would be a really nice second baseman for the future, but he can't play shortstop for me and this team that I'm trying to build. We need a really good defensive third baseman. Maybe that's Ryan McMahon. He's pretty good over there. But he'll be at second base until like Rodgers comes back. We also need like a really good defensive catcher. That'll be Drew Romo in the future, but that's probably another year away or so. This is going to be a way longer rebuild than the Twins one. I didn't expect to win so quickly with the Twins. And this Rockies team is pretty bad. So I don't know what I'm going to do the first season. Maybe we'll go up to the deadline and like do a really quick thing and then go to the end of the year. I assume the next episode will probably be, the entire first season, unless we make some miraculous run, which I'm not really expecting, but it could happen, I guess. So I guess we'll wrap up the episode there. Just kind of another intro episode, show the team and everything, and kind of how we're going to try to build this team in the future. So thank you very much for watching episode 1. We'll be back within the next couple of days with episode 2. The twin save will keep going, and until like people lose interest in it, I guess. I'm still having fun with it, so we're good at that. But yeah, just another series to keep going alongside the other one. So thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you guys in episode 2. See ya. All right, so I made the executive decision to include this one in episode 1 because we're horrible. We're 29 and 48, and I'm just kind of done with some of these guys on the team. So Jerks and Profar is the first guy to go. We're retaining half his deal. Let's see if So we'll retain 40% of his deal, which is just 1 year. Whatever. I don't really care that much. And Harold Castro, we're picking up Mike Soroka, who has fallen out of favor with the guys in Atlanta. But I see high movement, high control, and I like what I see. And Lucas Litke, who he's due for arbitration. 36-year-old. He's not a long-term piece, but I like the ratings a lot, and I think he might have a chance of being able to pitch in cores. Um, so yeah, we ditch Profar and get a couple of arms, which are much needed. Um, I guess we can go over the team really quick after we do this. Yeah, as you can see, the rotation's been a disaster. I mean, I expected that, I guess. Austin Gomber's been pretty good, though. A little bit better than league average. Freeland hasn't been. He wasn't doing that bad, but then the last couple of games, he's been horrible. Herman Marquez has been horrible all year, although he just had a nice game to drop his ERA below 7. Antonio Senzazella, who we're paying, $12 million for the next 3 years. It's a great deal. He's been absolutely garbage for the 4 starts he's made since coming off the IL. Connor Siebold hasn't been bad, though. Almost league average. If you could squint, there's a good pitcher there, I guess. I guess I'm going to keep running Senzazella out there because I'm paying him, and I'm just so pissed off about that, quite frankly. Honestly, the bullpen hasn't been horrible. Lamette's been bad, but that was to be expected with his low movement. But, Jake Bird's been good. Quite good, actually. Justin Lawrence. And there's one thing in common these guys have is the high movement, 65 movement for him. Jake Bird, 65 as well. So I guess it's proof that these high movement guys are going to work at least better than, Ryan Filtner, who might be a better pitcher overall, but not in our ballpark. So let me clear up this. I cleared up this roster spot for this guy, Brenton Doyle, who has been absolutely crushing AAA. So I'm going to give him the call up. Nolan Jones is a former top prospect, hitting well as well. So, I'm going to have to clear these roster spots. CJ Cron's been garbage. He'll be gone quite soon. Jonathan Dawes has been bad too, but Toglia has been great when he's been able to play. I think I'm going to deal Cron probably next within the next couple weeks, and try to get some of these younger guys an opportunity here. Because CJ Cron's not a long-term piece. Charlie Blackmon I'll probably hold on to, just because I doubt he has any value at all. We'll keep moving forward, and we'll finish out the season in this episode because it's been a disaster. So we'll keep moving forward. All right, so it's a couple days later, and we have our second trade of the year. So CJ Cron, we're gonna flip him. There was really nothing I can get in return, so I'm going to pick up Jorge Mateo, who's, a good defensive infielder and outfielder and has some speed, and, he's hitting pretty well in limited time this year, so maybe he can parlay that into something. We're also getting $500,000 cash, and, we're getting rid of Cron's, pretty big deal for the rest of the season, and opening up opportunities for Michael Toglia. So, there we go. We complete that trade, and we're almost in the black there with our money. We're getting there. So, there we go. Mateo will, I don't really know. He'll probably be a backup outfielder. I don't know. Is Montero's starting to hit, so that's good. McMahon, he's locked in there. Tovar, I want him out there every day. And Doyle, I want to play as well. So, maybe I'll have we'll just have Jorge Mateo be a super utility guy playing everywhere once a week or so. And, I don't know. This team's kind of shot anyway, so we'll just, throw some crap at the wall and see what sticks. Maybe there's something Mateo play every 5th and left. Every 7th at short. That looks pretty good. We'll have Trejo play a little bit more at first. And he can play a little bit DH too. Maybe every 6th. That's fine with me. This doesn't, the rest of the season doesn't matter a ton, so. We'll move McMahon up to lead off, I guess, and fix these lineups. So we're 29 and 48, and not looking great, but we'll keep moving forward. At least we have some arms in the rotation now, and kind of in the bullpen, so. Yeah, we'll sim up a couple days and get back to you guys when something happens. All right, our next deal is trading Nelson Lamet. We're gonna eat 65% of his salary, and we'll get Derek Law in return. Um, yeah, I mean there really wasn't a ton left, but or a ton to get from Lamet, but I mean Law's could be a decent arm, and he's under control for a couple of years, so I don't know, just just getting whatever he can for these guys. So maybe it's smarter to eat less money and get a worse player, but I'm gonna try to fill out this roster with some respectable players and not be completely horrible. So Law will be added to the active roster. Yeah, it's kind of just a bunch of crap um, in our pitching staff right now, but I think it's definitely better than it was to start the year. Let's see, Siebel have options good. Okay, so there's been some guys hitting in AAA, particularly Nolan Jones, who I do want to call up right now. We're gonna give him some run. I'm not sure where yet. Maybe he'll kind of play all around. Maybe a little bit of third base, a little bit of right field, a little bit of left field, some DH. Maybe we'll play every fifth at DH, maybe every fourth, um, every seventh maybe out in the left, maybe every fifth at third. I do want to get Trujillo in there a little bit as well. Okay, so this looks pretty good to me. The team is starting to look a little more respectable at this point. Getting some guys some run. Yeah, we'll be back. Maybe another trade. I'm not sure if we have a ton of assets left to trade, but I'll look around for different deals, and we'll be back. So we managed to find a decent deal for Randall Grichuk. Thankfully, it's the last time I have to say that. He's been fine, but whatever. 31-year-old on the last year of his deal. We're going to pick up Spencer Turnbull in return. Pretty high movement. Can be a serviceable starter for us. And, I like this deal a lot. So, there we go. We will complete that. And, no big returns on these guys, obviously, this trade deadline. But overall, I think it was pretty successful getting, like, a competitive team to go down the stretch and not, like, suck completely. So, we'll swim to the deadline and come back then. Actually, we're gonna have the first year player draft pretty soon, so I think it's in a couple of days. So we'll swim up to that right now, then go over like where we are at that point. I guess we could check out All Stars as well while we're here. Let's see what do we got here. Okay, here we go. So here are the All Stars. If you want to look. Old friend Keegan Aiken made it. That's fun. Wow. Who the hell has 6.5 WAR? Holy crap. That's insane. So, DeGrom on pace to pitch 271 innings. Yeah, Tex would be lucky to get that out of his entire 5-year deal. That's crazy. Holy crap. That's, wow. Okay, so stop saying that. Who is our all-star, and I'm guessing it's going to be Chris Bryant. He's actually starting in right field, well-deserved. He's having a really nice season, leading our putrid offense, although I don't think we're actually that bad. Matt Carpenter made it. Wow, that's another fun one. Our offense is 8th. It's not that bad, but yeah, the pitching is god-awful. So, I'm pretty sure the draft is in a couple days here. Oh, it's today. Cool. So what pick do we have? We have 9. That's unfortunate. I didn't realize they were picking that late in this draft. So, just curious, top arms. I don't think I'm going to take a pitcher. Definitely not taking Chase Dollander again. That was like the one whiff that I had in the first round in the twin save. Dylan Cruz would be awesome, but no way he drops. All right, let's see who drops to us. So, first pick, Paul Skeens. Love that pick. Great arm. This reminds me of Mike Wolf in the twin save. Dylan Cruz goes number 2. Max Clark, number 3. Let's see, Chase Dollander, number 4 to the Rangers. Rangers investing a lot in that pitching staff. Jacob Gonzalez, 5. Sixth pick is Wyatt Langford, college bat. I'm not familiar with a ton of these guys. Jacob Wilson, and we're up now. So when Ricky Bradfield goes the pick before, not a huge deal. I mean, I may have taken him, but okay. I'm gonna go through these people off camera, just because there's a lot of guys to look through and a lot to consider. So I'll come back when I have like narrow this list down a little bit. So with pick number 9 here, there's not a ton that I like. This would be a time if I was in the NBA or NFL or something, not MLB, that I would trade down. But a couple guys I like. Rhett Lauder, pretty well developed college arm. Doesn't have the biggest upside, but can be like a good 3 or 4 starter. And I like him because he has high movement and high control and decent stuff. Ground baller, which is big. How we're trying to build this team. So, I mean, most of the other guys are like high school bats, which I don't know. They're kind of sketchy. I've never really had success with them. I mean, occasionally you run into one that you luck out, but they're not. I'd rather take a college arm. That's like the number one thing that I'm good at drafting. So Tanner Witt's another guy I am concerned about his like mediocre movement. I think it could play, but he's definitely a better pitcher than the other guy. But I like his 4-pitch mix a little bit better. I'm concerned about the movement. I'm still tempted to take him. I think. I wouldn't mind taking any of these hitters, but I'm not really keen on taking a hitter at the moment. So I like this guy Jake Geloff, but you can find those third basemen other places, and none of these other really college hitters blew me away. Matt Shaw was a pretty good one, but he doesn't really have an infield position. So I think it's either Witt or it's going to be, what the heck is he? Louder. I might be able to get Louder in the second round, although he has an $8 million demand. That's important. We don't have a ton of money to spend. And once it's out because we have no other real money. Witt has $6 million, so I think I'm going to go with Witt just because he has a lower demand. Could backfire if he winds up not being able to pitch with that low movement, but I have faith he can pitch. So we'll go with Witt here, the 9th overall pick, and we'll sim the rest of the draft and get back to you guys afterwards. All right, folks, we are back. It's actually the end of the regular season. I just figured I'd go through the whole first season, kind of just get it over with, rip off the Band-Aid while this team is horrible. We finished 62-100, but we'll go through important stuff. A lot of it's just getting the season over with, basically. So we went over our first round pick, Tanner Witt. He went up, he was fine out in rookie ball this year. Second round, we took a bunch of high school guys here because none of the college guys I really liked. So I'll roll the dice with some of these high school batters mostly, but a couple of pitchers too. So Braden Holcomb, we took with our supplemental first round pick, 43rd overall. And I think this is for Trevor Story? No, this was 2 years ago. I don't know who this pick is from, but for the Rockies, a lot of potential, but he's a high schooler, so anything could happen there. Coleman Mizell we took in the second round. Not bad. There's a lot of high upside guys here that I kind of just rolled the dice with. Daniel Kovac being another one. Then old friend Cody Schreier, who ripped up rookie ball last year in 114 plate appearances. He'll start the year in A-ball, but we took him in the 4th round. He wound up becoming a good player in the Twin Series. Then Christopher Diaz, not a bad player here, high schooler. Derek Mitchell, another guy from the Twin Series. I tried to avoid taking a ton of guys that I took in that series, but he was sitting there in the 6th round, so I was like, let's roll the dice. Yeah, had a pretty miserable outing in rookie ball. Brandon Oliveira, high school arm, only pitched one game. I'm not sure what that was all about. I don't control those lineups or anything. Brandon Windcor, second baseman of the future maybe, was pretty good down in rookie ball this season. Look at this guy, Owen Egan, high schooler, pretty good in rookie ball. And our 10th round pick was Kemp Alderman, who my scout wanted me to pick in like the 3rd round. So he was sitting there. I was like, okay, let's just get this over with, so he could stop recommending him to me. Yeah, I mean, not the highest upside, but it could be a good hitter in the future. Jake Hembry, high school arm. Charles Bautista, another high schooler. James Hicks, college arm. Played in A ball and rookie ball, and was fine, for his first bit of professional pitching, I guess. Jake Linke was really good in rookie ball. He was our 14th round pick. Jackson Phipps, we took in the 15th round. Dane Thomas, Zeb Moore. These are just like some throw some darts at some high school players and see what happens. Yeah, none of them too impressive, but let's go through the team really quick. Just to, I'm not going to go over everyone, but just the important guys who are long-term pieces. So Chris Bryant had a really nice season. Wound up getting hurt a little bit. He made the All-Star team. I think I went over that. Maybe not. Yeah, put a 4.3 WAR. Really nice season from him. He'll be a centerpiece moving forward. Zico Tovar, another guy, had a really nice season. Pretty good at the glove at short. He's about average, which is better than I could have expected. And yeah, had about a league average bat. A little bit more depending on if you'd like WRC plus, OPS plus. Then Ryan McMahon, about a league average bat, but a good glove over at second and a little bit of third at the end of the year. We'll go over, Brendan Rodgers came back and absolutely raked. So, yeah, he's in the future plans. I'm not locking him into a second base job, but he's a good player. He wound up putting up 1.2 WAR in just 28 games. Michael Toglia had a pretty nice season, 121 WRC plus, 275, 21 home runs. Pretty much played like first base and right field or left field for most of the season. He was pretty good. Wound up being like our cleanup hitter for most of the year. Brian Servin, kind of under the radar, 84 WRC plus, but a good glove. 3 framing runs on the season. So he put up 1.6 WAR. Brenton Doyle, I guess we mentioned him. He was really no good. Montero was really not great. Sean Bouchard, who was hurt for the beginning of the year, was doing really well in AAA, so I called him up and was pretty good up in the majors too. He played a lot of outfield, I think. Yeah, he played mostly left, a little bit of right, depending on who was hurt and whatever. Nolan Jones is pretty disappointing. High strikeout rate, low walk rate. Only 7 home runs in 70 games. This guy should be able to hit 30 in course, but yeah, a little disappointing there. Jorge Mateo was a bust when we got him. He put up a WRC plus of a whopping 0 and negative 1.3 WAR, so completely undid his great start in Baltimore with us. And Jonathan Daza was probably the biggest disappointment. 29 years old, not like a huge hitter, but like, dude, 61 WRC plus and playing like a pretty bad center field. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but we'll see. Elias Diaz is also hot trash at catcher. I don't even know if I want to go through the pitching staff. I guess we could highlight some guys who I kind of want to keep long term. Austin Gomber wasn't horrible. Wound up going 13-11. 89 ERA plus, almost a league average pitcher with like 1.8 WAR. Then the rest of this was just kind of a bunch of crap. I guess we can mention that Kyle Freeland went out with elbow reconstruction surgery. He'll be out for half of next year at least, until July, I guess. Litke also went out with the same injury. He was really no good. I'll probably non-tender him in the offseason just because, he's older and that's a pretty bad injury. Daniel Bard wasn't bad. I think he was better than what this indicates, but Um, he's under contract through next year, so he'll be around. Justin Lawrence is pretty good. 119 ERA plus. And overall, probably him and Jake Bird are my two best relievers, and Derek Law, actually. He had a really nice year when he came over. Yeah, Jake Bird, just too many home runs allowed, but I think the movement that should correct itself in the future. Pierce Johnson was okay. I guess like Logan Allen was really good. I don't know what happened. He was pitching like an ERA in the threes for most of the year. Oh yeah, August. Yeah, August he got destroyed. September he got destroyed. That makes sense. Um, yeah, he kind of regressed to the mean, and yeah, the pitching just a disaster. I don't even want to look at this. Antonio Senzella was one of the worst pitchers I've ever seen. Mike Soroka was actually okay. He had a couple bad games on the stretch, but he was mostly good. Ramon Marquez was horrible. He has a team option that'll get declined. Spencer Turnbull was a bust. Yeah, so we're going to rebuild this whole pitching staff this offseason. That's kind of the plan. That's kind of why I just didn't bother with, showing the season because, we did all the trades we needed to on camera and then kind of just finish it out. So I guess that'll wrap up episode 1 here of Colorado Rockies at the Park Baseball 24 season. Next episode we'll have the off season and go through all that and hopefully build this team into something that resembles an MLB pitching staff. And the offense wasn't horrible, but I think we can improve that as well. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Peace.